Morning, everyone. What the heck is going on? Well, the wind finally picked up. It was dead calm. And it was really wet. Heavy dew. So, these swaths out here, this stuff where it's heavy, it's been down since beginning of last week. Then it got rained on. It's actually been rained on twice. Not huge amounts, but enough to shut things down. Like all total rainfall is about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch. So not a lot, but it came at little tiny amounts, like 1/10 type of thing, 2/10. The biggest we had was, what was it? 4 mil. So we'd get 1 mil, we get 2 mil, so on and so forth. Anyways, just enough that we could not bale it. And I checked it yesterday. She's dry on top, but it was still damp underneath, and the stems would not break. So, and with that heavy dews, and then we were gone helping our son move and then moving our mother. So all those days put together, yeah, it's been down for a long time. So myself, just bear with me. There, we're hooked to the rake. We're gonna rake it up here this morning, me and my bald head, and we'll bale it tonight. We'll wait for like 8:30, 9 o'clock and come out and bale it when it's a little on the tough side, so we don't knock all the leaf off. It won't be fantastic feed, but it'll still be good feed. So anywho, last week when I was raking that stuff behind us, what was that, Friday or Saturday, something like that, where it was light, because this stuff was cut on, I think it was Tuesday, and they were calling for a shitload of rain. Anyway, I was saying back then how in the heavy stuff you'll find where the swath could start turning kind of yellowish color underneath after it sits for so long, and potentially start molding a little bit underneath. I don't think it's molding underneath, but the color of the swath will definitely be a different color, and I'll bring you guys back and show you what that looks like when we get a bunch of this raked up. So we'll talk to you later. Alrighty, so we got this end raked up. Now you can see right in there, see how it's kind of yellowish color? Now had we gotten like, let's say an inch of rain or something, it would be really yellow. Luckily that never happened. And there's still green in here, but like that stuff, it doesn't snap or nothing. It's damp. And it's been down for, like I said before, over a week. So, but now we've got her raked up, and at plus 29, plus 30 today. Today's the, what is it, the 25th, I think, of July. It'll dry and we'll be baling today. We got to go to the far end and rake up those ones. And then we got to do a bunch of fixing. Well, not a bunch, but some. I had a fairly major breakdown on a Haybine yesterday. So this field all got cut down yesterday, Yeah, in the camera here, there you can see the swaths, but as I pan across the field, you almost struggle to find the swath. But anyway, it all got cut down. Plus, so there's roughly 30 acres there. Plus another 45-acre field all got cut down yesterday. I didn't think I would finish that field, but even with the major breakdown we had, CP came home. When I broke down, she came home by herself with the truck, and I managed to finish the field last night, so just with the one machine. But anywho, let's get to the far end and rake that up and on to something new. Talk to you later. Alrighty, well that's all done. See the road? Looks like it's been trimmed, the grass has been cut. So this road is what they call a summertime seasonal road. They don't maintain it in the winter at all. Spring or late fall. Hell, we struggle to get maintenance of any kind on it in the middle of the summer. I'm surprised they actually cut the grass on it even. So you can see how the trees are right here. They're right up on the edge of the road, more or less on both sides. So farther ahead up that way, the trees were exactly the same way. And at the time, this here was all of this land on this side was all farmed by one guy. He actually owns 3/4 and he was renting that quarter. On this side, it's all my land. And the RM came to me and said, yeah, we want to push the bush to give access to the farmer to get in to his field. And I says, yeah, sure. They said they would keep the, on here, road allowance is 33. If I remember correctly, it's exactly 33 feet from center of road, 33 feet out, 33 feet out. They said they would keep the bush pile inside the road allowance. Yeah, that didn't happen. RM paid to have the bush pushed. No cost to me. But at the time, our fence was 200 feet onto my side. And when they went and pushed the bush, they pushed it all into my side and left me the bush pile. They went 40 feet from center of road. They went 40 feet onto my side. That's to this side of the bush pile. So the whole friggin' pile was all on my, got dumped on my side. Up here, so right up here, for that couple 100-yard stretch, that there, they did push back onto the farmer's land. But with all the bush out here, he wasn't farming that part of the property anyways. So yeah, I ended up with, in my eyes, I got screwed. We lost, well, the width of the bush pile, I think it's around 60 feet at the bottom. We lost that much ground for a half mile. So not a lot of ground, but a couple of acres. Now sure, I could clean that up, but it's my cost to clean it up. The RM made the pile, but it's still my cost to clean the pile up. Go figure that one. Just bringing this forward for all of you guys that might be watching Piper Doug Wreck It Ranch. He was talking about cost sharing with the RM to have some bush pushed. where he would pay for half and they would pay for half. Well, in this case, I would have gladly paid for half, but providing they left it on their friggin' property, not dumped it all on my property in a long row. Like that big hump all through there, it looks like tall grass in these trees. That's not tall grass, that's bush pile all along this side. And then the suckering trees grew up amongst it since then. So now I got a fence that I built out there, and we now with our brush cutter, I'm trying to maintain that fence line so the trees don't grow into it, into the fence and out into the field. Anywho, enough of my jibber jabber, just my 2 cents for the day. Let y'all go, we'll talk later. Well, that's working again. Son of a beehive. So yesterday when we were cutting, I come into this slough right here, and I pulled out, went to lift to get over top the swath that was already cut, and the hydraulic line literally exploded. See that? So that's no friggin' good, is it? But I robbed the part off of the old parts machine, and I think what happened was, I don't know, it got, because nothing's zip tied here, nothing's tied up here. I think it might have got caught on here, and that's what caused it to friggin' get screwied. But anywho, we're going to change things up slightly, and we're going to get things all zip tied in nice and solid and go from there. This one goes up here. Okay, I'll bring you guys back. The line off of the parts machine worked to get this up and running again, thank God. So, talk to y'all later. Alrighty, well, this field got all cut down last night, yesterday afternoon, last night. So with what CP and I cut in the other field, or the 2 small fields, and this one, we're sitting around 75-ish acres on the ground. Hopefully we won't have any more horse issues, because that's just a total piss off in my eyes. If it's 1 or 2 horses or 3, that's one thing, but when it's a whole goddamn herd of horses doing that, that's no darn good. Like 30 head. And we found 8 different bed down spots for the horses in this 45-acre plot. So those friggin' animals were in this field for a week plus. Horses will lay down, but not very often. So yeah, they were here for a while. So I'm just gonna run this thing to the south end of the field, or east end of the field I should say. And then I'll go home with CP. And have some lunch, and then come back out, and I'll cut by myself out here in the middle piece for a couple, 3-4 hours, whatever. Get that field opened up, the middle one opened up, and then it'll be time to go back home to do some baling tonight. So I'll let you guys go. This is Hand. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done. Alrighty guys, well, we're finally back out here. And I I just got to get way down there to the east end. You can see the white Dodge down there. Anyways, so far on my first round, yeah, there's horse tracks all through this field, and there's truck tracks or vehicle tracks all through this field. It's almost as if the people with the horses knew their horses were out, and since nobody was phoning them, they just kept driving out here to check on them, not actually put them in on their own property. Free grazing, right? Lots of it. This field out here, so far by the looks of it, on average, excuse me, yeah, on average, I'm going to say is going to yield better than this field. So, just nicely got off the phone with our son Dylan, who we helped move. And if you guys remember, there's the one clip where I showed the guy, previous owner of Dylan's new property. The guy was still had stuff to get out of there. Well, that was Wednesday. It is now Friday, and the guy, as Dylan was on the phone with me, the previous owner was there still trying to get stuff out of there. But he'll be done today, apparently. And Dylan said that I can come and get our gooseneck stock trailer at any time. He's got it unloaded. I told him I wouldn't need it until the middle of next week at the earliest, but he figured no, because next week he's going to be at work, so he just wanted to get everything unloaded. So that was good of him. The sheds, the garden sheds got emptied out, so he was able to put stuff in. So yeah, we'll probably go pick that up here on the weekend at some point or other. Because this stuff, you know, for how light it is in areas, then it's 5 times that heavy in other areas, in the low spots and whatnot, and it's going to need time to dry. I don't want to be ducking in and out throughout the whole field. So we're gonna wait on this field to get everything dry versus just parts of it. That's never any fun. So, but we'll get this sucker opened up. It's a damn good drying day. It feels like plus 35 Celsius, so that's around 90 some degrees, and the wind is up, so she's drying things down real fast. Sweet. Might be making square bales this weekend if it don't rain. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, just want to show you this. So on average, we're dealing with this. There's a couple spots where it's lighter. I gotta turn here. And then through here, the water generally tends to sit quite heavily all through this area. In this corner anyways. And there's some spots towards the northwest end where it's just unbelievably heavy. You can see the trails out here. Like right here, it's friggin' heavy. keep in mind, what are we cutting here? Well, there's two different kinds of alfalfa. Smooth brome, meadow brome, orchard grass, crested wheat grass. Deal with this rock pile. I'll bring you back in a sec. Alrighty. So like I was saying, smooth brome, meadow brome, two kinds of alfalfa, taproot and creeping root, crested wheat grass, orchard grass, a hint of clover. We got it all. So what you're seeing here right now, this is what would be the lightest so far at this point in this field. And the opening rounds of this field, this is the field that a couple years ago, some of you will remember, we had a major kerfuffle when we seeded it, and it went down at like 54 pounds an acre for the first 2-3 rounds of a, what was that thing, 60-foot machine. So all around the headlands, all around these bushes, it's like 54 friggin' pounds an acre. So it requires a lot of moisture to grow. And over time, it's going to choke itself down. So what the field is going to be like through the middle, where we see right there, truck tracks, people looking for their animals. Anyway, what it's going to be like as time goes on, I don't know. And what it's going to be like in the middle at this point, I really don't know. But for now, this is looking pretty good. I'm not complaining. Considering the year, I'm not complaining. Sorry, didn't mean to have you looking like that. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on trucking here. We'll talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, still plugging along here. So this area right here, you can see it's looks like it's pretty much solid. Well, it is solid grass right through here, right in this area right through here. And over here the trees look like they've been burnt off. Well, this whole area had leafy spurge in it last year and into the trees, and I came in here and we sprayed it all out last year. I knew I was going to kill the alfalfa. That was a sacrifice I was willing to take, but I knew I still had all my grasses. And by golly, by the looks of it, it looks like we got it. It's not a huge area, but it's about half the size of that patch that we did at home. And like I said, by the looks of it, it's looking like we got it. Now, some of you might ask, BP, why the hell aren't you cutting that slough bottom? Because I know how rough it is. I've done that once, and I said, nope, never again. As it is, I'm on the edge of it, and this is bouncy enough for me. I'm only going 3 miles an hour on the edge of it because it's so bloody rough. So we're just gonna do I did that area, that little nook back there. I want to get 6-8 passes along this side of the bush. That way when we start heading east and west, my headlands are all cut down already. Anyways, so yeah, but that leafy spurge area, I am not seeing any leafy spurge plants in the bush, on the ground, where the bale in the hayfield part, or anything. So that makes me feel really good to be able to get rid of that stuff. Get turned around here. Assuming you guys are able to see that. To me, it looks pretty good, considering the year that we've had. So, anyway, I'm going to let you go, and we'll see what happens a little bit later on today. It's after 6 already, so fun, fun, fun. Alrighty, guys, well, we're out here, we're baling. That's bale number 1 of this week and a half old product. We'll see how many we end up with. Left the house at 11 o'clock at night. It's got the perfect amount of moisture on it right now, so that we can bale this up. Probably only be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 bales, but at least we won't be hammering all the leaf off of it. That's the one thing about alfalfa that I really dislike. You cannot, like with grass hay, oh goodness gracious, sorry. With grass hay, you can go out and you can bale that friggin' stuff basically in the middle of the afternoon, evening, whatever, and you're fine. But with alfalfa, you want the leaf left on there. The leaf is where all of the... This camera's fuzzy as hell. Anyway, with alfalfa, you want the leaf left on there because that's where all of your protein, your energy, all of the nutrients are basically in the leaf and the small fine stem that the leaf is hanging on. That big stocky stem, that's nothing. And that's the bale we just kicked out right there. Yeah, my cam needs darn good cleaning. Anywho, I'll let you guys go. We'll get this baled up and I'll bring you back when we're done. Later. Alrighty. Just about 6 more bales on these few little swipes. The last bale's 50 inches. I can shut him down and pick him up. We'll carry that one home. So far, what have we got? Bale count. Our total so far on this field is 38. So we only theoretically got to make 22 more bales, and that's a bale an acre. And I'm gonna guess there's at least 30 bales or more, maybe just over 30 still out here, and that potentially could happen as fucking bugs as early as tomorrow. Okay, where's my gateway? I have no idea. It's around here somewhere. There it is. I need to put a reflector on it. So yeah, it potentially could happen as early as tomorrow. So stay tuned, boys and girls. Anyway, for now, here's BP signing off. Hit that thumbs up button or hit the thumbs down, whichever you prefer. Comment, subscribe, and fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later.